live we go into part two of our hunt for the very elusive three-segment Dudunsparce. Today could be the day, although probably not. We'll find out on this episode of Wasting Our Time. And then I'll put the thumbnail on, save it. Yay! This time I won't have the impossible shiny hunt sort of thing. It's just gonna be just three-segment the Dudunsparce shiny hunt live part two. No need for the impossible thing. Not this time, at least. Just came out of a nice workout, so I'm feeling pretty good. But tomorrow's my rest day. Got some work done today. Oh, actually, I got a lot done today. But tomorrow, just gonna chill. Maybe a stream or something, like casual stream on Pokemon Showdown or something like that. Kind of sounds fun. Making more teams. Oh, that sounds really fun, actually. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do some team building tomorrow on Showdown. Didn't have some very successful teams last time, so if we can remedy that, that would be cool. That would be very cool. That would be awesome. So we can give that another try tomorrow. I have a good idea for a team. Involves toxicity, which I think usually is pretty bad, but anyway, I think that's what we'll do tomorrow. That sounds pretty fun. Alright, we'll go double salty and gold pick. And we have to deal with all of this. Did we save? I don't think it matters, does it? Alright, let's see if we can actually make it work this time this way. Ooh, tofu, work with me. Yep, the sandwich is still a pain. Warp, warp, warp. What did I do today? First thing was, did another script for the Mummy movie. That's number 9, and then I watched number 10, but number 10 was just it was so boring. It was ridiculous. It was just nuts. I'm gonna up that a little bit, be a little bit louder on my microphone, just to make sure I can pick everything up. Okay, that should be okay, I think. I think that works. Alright. Sparkling title encounter. Alright, there we go. And 3 minutes in, and we're hunting. Probably gonna go for another 2 hour, I think, today. Streamed a little bit later than I wanted to, but I wanted to get a nice workout in, because I was very low energy this morning. Wanted to take the morning to rest, and since tomorrow's my rest day, I figured I can work out later in the day. And I've beginning to notice how hard it is to push yourself on a calorie deficit. It's definitely hard. You don't really get used to it, right? Honestly. Which I guess is the point of a calorie deficit, is it's hard, right? Okay. And here we go. It's official. Looking for the purples. Last time we caught 10 shiny Dudunsparces. So if we can do the same thing this time around in 2 hours, I'd be pretty happy. I would be pretty happy with that. We might do an extra reset, right? We did 4 rounds last time. We can maybe try 5 today. Oh, remember to bring our camera out. fan on my laptop is going. Can't tell how loud it is. I'm gonna bring the microphone down just a little bit. Hopefully that helps. Okay. Back to it. And so yeah, on a calorie deficit, trying to work out is just, it's tough for sure. I can still do what I normally do, you know, like 2 miles on the treadmill, running, and then usually on Saturday I'll do 2 running and then like 2 or 3 walking. Today I did 3, and then some upper body stuff. But I think the upper body stuff is probably the hardest part about it. Don't really have the energy to do too many reps, you know? So that makes things difficult. I don't know how blatant it is to hear the fan going on my laptop. So the thing is, I think next thing I'm going to get is a microphone pretty soon. I think that might be the next thing that I go for, because it's going to be helpful to record the script from the Mummy video, right? I think that'd be really nice. But on the recent video that I did with the King Gambit, I thought it actually sounded pretty nice, to be honest. I thought it was actually pretty good, the sound quality, especially upped from last time. I don't know what happened last time. OBS just, I thought OBS would work well with Mac. It does not. So far, every like screen capture, streaming, like studio, just does not work well with Mac at all, which is unfortunate because you'd think that there'd be something out there for it since so many people use Macs, but that's alright. The thing is, Mac already has built-in screen capture stuff. I know it's way easier to just do it that way. It's actually way less complicated to do it on Mac, just without actually using the studio, and I have way more control over what the stuff like looks like, and the quality is so much better. Because on OBS, like, the quality that you record in is like the same as like the stream quality, and you can like up the settings, right? But then trying to, for whatever reason, like when you record in AVI format and then edit it in Final Cut and then export it and then try to put it on YouTube, the quality is just terrible for whatever reason. And so I can kind of like take away one level of compression from OBS to Final Cut, and I can just screen record and video record at the same time with the same laptop, and the fan won't go crazy. The fan didn't turn on when I was doing that, even though I was literally double recording instead of just single recording with OBS in crap quality. So, rip OBS, I guess. Just does not work with Mac, which is a bit of a problem, if you ask me. I will be getting a PC eventually, but it's and technically I do have the money for it, but I don't want to do that right now, after I made already some pretty big purchases. And it's Christmas time. It's Christmas. Merry Christmas. And so the microphone's definitely the next thing, because trying to pop in Elgato plus streaming it on YouTube also makes the fan go on. And I would like to be at a point where I can have better microphone quality during the streams as well. That'd be pretty nice. Be pretty ballin'. And what else did I do? Yeah, I watched the 10th Mummy movie. It is just, I was so bored. I was so bored watching that movie, dude. Oh man, I can't even like. It was like the syndrome of like you trying to like show your friend a movie that you really like, but your friend like doesn't really care about it and like doesn't watch it, and then when something happens, you haven't, like, your friend has no idea what's going on. Like, I was that friend. I was so lost because there were just points where I was just like falling asleep, and I think that was also just like because the movie didn't make sense, and so like I feel like it was already boring, and it already didn't make sense, and then so then the fact that I wasn't paying attention made it make way less sense, and it was so goofy. Like there's some goofy stuff in old movies, you know, and the Mummy movies are definitely like fall prey to that, right? Which you would expect, like a lot of the cliches and you know, just the hammy wooden like dialogue and acting, right? But this one, and it's like this is like 1971, so it's not even like that like early in the game. Yet this one was just, man, it was bad. It was just the corniest, like trying to take itself seriously. It was just, man, that was I think the worst part. Like it was taking itself so seriously, but it was so goofy. Like some of the other Mummy movies, like they they're goofy, but they didn't take themselves nearly as seriously, which in that case it was a lot easier to enjoy it, and it was like slightly it was self-aware enough that it just wasn't like unbearable, but this one it thought it was the most serious movie you ever watched in the world, and that like its concepts were so deep and profound, and the storytelling was top notch, and it was like it was bad. It was really bad. So I have to, I'm gonna have to watch that movie probably two more times if I'm gonna get anything from it, because I missed so much from that. So it was just so boring. I literally just I wanted it to be over. I watched it all the way, well, watched it, quote unquote, all the way through because I have to get through it because of like the screen recording, right? So I can get some of the footage at least, right? At least some of it, so that I can, you know, use the footage to edit for the video, right? And so I have to like go all the way through it. This time around, I might try again tonight, but I don't want to, or tomorrow morning. Like it was just, man, it was bad. It was Blood of the Mummy's Tomb was this one, and like there were a couple things that were like okay, but and like some of the effects were like okay, you know, but it was the most boring garbage I've ever seen in my life. It was one of the worst movies I've ever watched in my life, for sure. It was just awful. And I think when you're already like saturated with all like the mummy movie cliches, that it just makes it that much worse. So maybe it's just a partial victim of circumstance, right? But man, it was bad. Did not enjoy it. And the worst part, because I have to make a script on it, I have to actually try to understand it. And which means I have to watch it again. So yay! Also, I did do a little bit of, I think, like an hour's worth of Dondozo hunting while I was watching it, and so I tried to catch a Dondozo shiny, which did not work out at all. I spent an hour looking for that thing. Didn't work. That was painful. That was painful. I didn't like that. Didn't find one at all. I think the problem is too is like there's so much like frame rate lag when you're out in the water with Pokemon spawning for whatever reason. It just messes up the game a lot. And it's just it was super annoying. So your shiny hunting already just very, very slow. I wasn't using any Herba Mystica, but I didn't think I had to. That's the thing. I didn't think I needed to use an Herba Mystica in order to get a shiny Dondozo, but nah, I was wrong. Nope, that was a 3 segment for a second. So, Rip the shiny Dondozo. Couldn't be bothered to keep trying because I had some other stuff to do. Ugh. Oh, then for lunch, which was like my one meal, right? I had like I baked these sweet potato fries, and with like this Dijon mustard from Trader Joe's. Man, that packs a punch. That was real nice. I was a big fan of that. Sweet potato fries with Dijon mustard. That hits. It's really good. Used to hate sweet potato fries, but like a handful of years ago, like 5 or 6 years ago. But man, they're great, and then they're even better with like Carolina style barbecue and um, now I know Dijon mustard. It's great, especially because the one from Trader Joe's has like a white wine for flavor, right? Ugh. Kind of annoying that they can spawn over here. What are the odds that a shinies have been spawning over here and I just haven't noticed? That would be annoying. Speaking of, we're almost 15 minutes in. We haven't found a single one. I think, is our shiny luck just like awful today? Because last time we did it, what? Uh, three tries, right? And we got 4 the first time, 3 the second time, and 3 the third time, for a total of 10 in 2 hours. But right now, it looks like odds are just not. I'm between like the Dondozo luck, like doing like I mass outbreak hunted for like an hour, didn't find one. So, I mean that's a bit of a frame rate thing too, I guess. But I think it would have taken too long. Would have taken way too long, most likely, if I tried to commit to that. But maybe I missed it, you know. Maybe it spawned in and then I just didn't see it. It's always a possibility. Just like it's a possibility when I'm searching around for shiny Dudun boy. That's the thing, right? It's like it'll spawn in, but you have to actually see it. That's the thing. You gotta pay attention. We do have Breloom at the head of the party, right? Yeah. Okay. And remember, we spore only. Spore only, and that's it. Nothing else. No. Well, I think we get one by now. I'm gonna feel real giddy when we find one. Feel real good. Ugh. Nope. Hello. Shiny. Just one. One for the boys. Not even for the boys. Yeah, I guess just today is just not a good day for shiny luck. It's too bad. Mm. On the bright side, though, I'm feeling a lot better as far as like my symptoms and whatnot. Right? Pretty much fully recovered now. It's about time. Took way too long. Same thing as it was with COVID. Just takes too long. Wasting my time. Let a couple spawn in here. Nope. Alright. Nope. Back to it. I mean, I guess I should feel like some sense of accomplishment now that I'm like 10 movies in to the Mummy video, right? And I've written scripts for them, 9 of them. I feel like that's a decent accomplishment so far. But that's just the pre-stuff. I have to do the voice recording, then I have to edit. Oh man. And since I want it to be an engaging video, I have lots of edits planned. Yeah, I've made note of all of like the sort of edits that I want to do in the scripts, right? Just so I have reference for it when I do it. Just all the ideas for the edits I have, right? Where I want to put memes and, where I want to put a black screen and stuff like that, right? Just to help out the editing process a little bit, right? Try to streamline it just a little bit. But then there's a lot of like new footage I have to get that's not from the Mummy movies, just from the, different footage from different memes I want to use, right? From other movies and GIFs and, stuff like that. Then I have to collect all that footage, which I'm probably going to do just like as I'm editing, most likely. And, I'm thinking that I still want to do like the demo video, right? But I think I want to do that after Christmas break. I think. Because otherwise I have to do it like this week. Because we have family coming, right? So, yeah, that's the thing, right? Since I have La Familia, it might be a little annoying trying to, record anything, so I think it's probably a good idea just to wait. Geez, our shiny luck has just not been there. Almost 20 minutes in. Really poor luck, or I'm just not picking them out well. If they have shown up. Maybe I just haven't been picking them out. See, there's a chance that they've been spawning like behind me as I'm already moving. Yeah, see, like that, essentially. And I'm missing behind spawns, you know what I mean? There's always a chance of that. Almost seems like the spawning pattern is a little bit different this time around, too. Well, at this rate, I'll be happy to get one. Yeah, I guess maybe today's just not the day. And I mean, honestly, like, we only got like, 5 views in 24 hours for the first part, right? So maybe people aren't interested in seeing this. Even though it's just a really rare hunt, that's gonna take a while. So maybe it's not really a good idea to stream it, but I don't know, I thought it would be interesting. But I guess because it takes so long, that might be the uninteresting part. That it's just such a long hunt, considering we're doing a part 2 for it, right? I think that's telling enough, right? And we searched for already even just for 2 hours. Couldn't find it. Oof. You know what I mean? But we'll keep at it. We'll do at least, one more. We'll do a part 2, and then maybe I'll do the rest of it off stream. It's on my own time. Right? Might be worthwhile. Then I can just do a screen capture when I get it, and then post that. I think it's a good plan. Oh, come on, guys. There's one with 7 minutes left. Dang. Our first try last time we got 4. Jeez. And then 3 and 3. Maybe we did just get super lucky. Weird. I mean, I'd when it starts suspecting that the game might be glitched out or something. That we're like shiny locked. If we don't find one after this half hour and then the next half hour, I'm gonna start thinking that like there's something up. Because the fact that I shiny hunted Dondoza for an hour with Mass Outbreak, didn't find it. And then I shiny hunt for Dudunsparce with this Urban Mystica for an hour, didn't find it. I mean, those are some pretty, like, that's some serious bad luck, right? I mean, that is down there. Down there in the luck department. But maybe this is just all adding up, right? Maybe this is just the tease. And then we're gonna get one shiny Dudunsparce. Or one shiny. You good, bro? You good over there? Head banging? One shiny Dudunsparce. And that's gonna be our 3 segment. Then we're going to give it a beautiful set. And it's going to be super strong. Super strong. Maybe, who knows? It's always a possibility. Hello. Yikes, 4 minutes left. It's not faring well. Are we gonna get 0 shinies? Really? That is not a good look for our first half hour. Maybe I'm just missing it, right? It's always a possibility. I think we're doing a good job, like, shaking corners and making sure we're seeing all the spawns. Hmm. At least I thought we were. But maybe not. Yeah, it's not looking good. Not looking good. Might be a rough day for shiny hunting. Whoops. Yeah. Yikes, we're almost out of time. I guess that's just odds for you. I think this is one of the first times using this method. Well, no, that's not true. I've done mass outbreaks before. There we go. Goodness. Okay. I think we got one. At least we got one. What are the odds that that was just a long tease to our 3 segment? That would be a miracle. Let's see. Work your magic. Alright. Confirmed, not glitched. Just bad luck. Poor luck. But we got one. So I guess good luck. And we caught it with 1 minute remaining. Maybe the quick 1 minute shiny find? You never know. You never know. It's a possibility. We'll make use of the time. Just in case. You never know. That's the thing about the odds game, right? You could encounter 2,000 Dudunsparce with good odds and not find it. That's just how odds work. So it could happen. It will most likely happen. But it's not guaranteed to happen. Technically, you could flip a coin and hit tails 10,000 times in a row. It's possible. Rare, but it's possible. Oh, there you go. And run out. Okay, I thought... You're not darker than normal, are you? I think you're normal color, right? You're normal color. Yeah, okay. That was confusing for a sec. Definitely normal color. Alright. Let's do it. Let's evolutionize him. Boink. Alright, nope. Where do we go? Remember, move, hyper drill. There you go. There you are. Then, just give him some candy. Alright, let's see. Miracle Dudunsparce, you never know. We'll see. Did Anakin turn to the dark side because he was passed up for a promotion? Nope. Guess it was a lot to ask of, wasn't it? There you go. Alright. Yeah, we'll try again. It's too bad. What else went on? Not much. Been a busy day, but still, in a way, kind of slow. Nothing really too interesting happened. Not like the past while. Wait, what am I doing? Why did I just jump down? I'm not supposed to do that. Literally, why did I do that? That was dumb. Okay, where's the... I need to go over here. Yoink. What am I doing wasting time? Weak? Hi. Might be faster just to reset the game, but that's alright. Alright, back to the gate. Well, I'm supposed to make the sandwich first. Because we can't do it down there. Unfortunately. At least I'm pretty sure you can't. Because I tried to before and I couldn't. Not sure why you can't, but you just can't. It's just the Pokemon rules. Okay. I guess one thing I did see that the Pokemon series is like done with Ash. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, that's crazy, dude. That's nuts. I can't even like express how crazy that is. Like following this kid for 25 years in a show. Like it's his show pretty much. And that's it. It's done. We're following new characters. Again, it makes sense. He became all-time champion, right? He did it. So there's not. I mean, what else is he gonna do? Like that's his shtick. And he did it. Became world champion. I wanted the rematch Alon, though. I would love to see that rematch. See Alon get destroyed. Like he should have been. In Gen 6. Should have lost. Should have lost. So, not likely we'll see a rematch like that in a long time. And we're not going to see those old characters for a very long time, too. It's kind of sad, isn't it? I don't know, maybe Ash will be in the new one. Right? Like, he travels to every new region, you know what I mean? He's always done that. So it's like, is he really not going to be in the show at all? You know? I doubt it. He has to be in it, at least a little bit. Like, it was his show for 25 years. You know? So it's going to be weird following anyone else. It's just weird. Again, it makes sense, but I don't know. Just weird. Sound like a broken record, but just the truth. Just weird. Alright, here we go. Our next try. So, I mean, when the new show comes out, I mean, I'll watch some of it. Just to see what it's like. I hope it's grown up a bit, but I don't know. Because the game, like, grew up a little bit with some of its themes, you know? So I'm interested to see if the show has grown up a little bit too. Because, like, they're trying to attract, like, they always try to attract a new generation of kids, but the thing is, like, kids kind of grow up faster nowadays. It's just, like, the level of information that they're exposed to, you know what I mean? Like, we weren't allowed, like, I wasn't allowed to watch Pokemon until I was 8. And now, you know, which is, like, kind of nuts, but it's like, no. Okay. Quick one. I'm for it. But, I mean, now you have kids watching traumatizing things on TikTok, like, you know, for breakfast. So it's like, you know, kids grow up faster nowadays. So I think it would be nice if the show grows up a little bit. Gets a little bit more real with stuff, I think. A little less Jesse James and a bit more LeBron James, you know what I mean? That's a terrible comparison, but you get my point. Okay, that's number 1 in less than 3 minutes. I'll take it. I will take it. Since we only got one last time. In a half hour. Making up for it just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. What else do I talk about? I don't know. I think I covered everything for the day in about 45 minutes. Not much to talk about besides that. I've been watching a little bit more VGC content, and there's a lot of interesting stuff out there. And I made a pretty decent team, but I have to edit around it because it's based around, right now, Toxtricity and Garchomp. But I think I have to take Garchomp out for something else, and I have to change up the team a little bit. But it's a really like strong idea. I just have to edit the team a bit, and I was doing very well with it on Showdown, and I just felt like I had options, which is great for a team, which is a good sign. So I just have to figure out how to edit it, what to do with it, you know. I think I want to get rid of that Garchomp and go for something else that's offensive. And, I mean, I can talk about the team tomorrow, too, right? When I stream it. And also, like, I might want to switch out Garchomp for, like, Dragapult. Is, I think, actually a really good idea. I think it would be really nice to have. I've been thinking about putting Toxtricity with a Choice Band and Dragapult. I don't know. I like that idea. That's all I can say. I like that idea. Thing is, it's like, so it's Toxtricity with the flying type Terra, because it hates ground type attacks. It's 4 times effective against the poor guy with not great bulk. So he really just doesn't like that, right? He will pretty much always get one shot. So that's why it has the flying type Terra. But I'm thinking it might be better to go for a normal type Terra with Boom Burst. And remember, Dragapult's a ghost type, which means he will not get hit with the Boom Burst. And I also have the option, of course, to go like Dragon Terra, Dragapult with like Dragon Darts with Choice Band. Go with like U-Turn, Terra Blast, or Phantom Force, but Terra Blast is probably better. Well, is it better? I wonder. Probably. In singles, it's better. In doubles, I think it might be up for discussion. In singles, I'd much rather go Terra Blast when it comes to being a ghost type stab. But if I'm going to do Dragon type Terra, there's no point in that, right? So, I have to put something else on there. Some other coverage. But it's probably almost always going to be clicking Dragon Darts and a U-Turn, right? But I don't know. Could also do a Dragon Dance set. Isn't a terrible idea. But the thing is, if I have choice specs, Toxtricity, and choice ban, Dragapult, like, I feel like it's a bit gratuitous. And if I double lock myself into moves, And so what I'm currently running on Toxtricity is the Throat Spray, which I think is still a pretty good option because I have Instruct on a Oranguru, which has been doing work. Because I can, like, double Boom Burst, essentially. It's destructive. And that's with Throat Spray, because I can Boom Burst once, get the Throat Spray boost, and then Instruct Boom Burst again with the boost, right? That's kind of how it works. And so I'm thinking I want to keep Throat Spray on instead of the choice specs. So I don't have to lock myself into that move, because I also want the option to just go for just a normal Overdrive. Because Overdrive is also very powerful. So then I also had the option to go for Snarl. That was actually super clutch. I went up against a Dragapult while I had Tailwind up, and Boom Burst doesn't hit Dragapult. Overdrive is not very effective. But I hit Instruct, or no, I had Trick Room up actually. So what I did is I hit Dragapult with Overdrive first, through Instruct, and then I clicked the move Snarl on Toxtricity. So I got the Instruct off for the Overdrive, and then the subsequent immediate Snarl after I got the boost from Overdrive. And then I just destroyed Dragapult right there. So it can work. I like the Throat Spray Instruct strategy quite a bit. Quite a bit. Because it just gives me that option, But I also do have it as Jolly, and I ran into some trouble where the opponent had some Pokemon that outsped me, but not all. And so then there was this Colossal that I essentially like set up Trick Room for it, and it destroyed me. Like, it just melted my team. I just didn't have anything to like take it defensively, and outsped everything under Trick Room. And so then I was like, well, I have to like play defensively around my own Trick Room. Then when it runs out, he has Pokemon in the back that can outspeed it. You know what I mean? So that was tough for sure. So maybe it'd be better to run. How do you say? Not timid. Modest. So I go for increased special attack. Certainly a thought. That's something I might just do tomorrow. I did see a choice specs toxicity with Sableye team, and I like that idea a lot, actually. But I'm like sad that I didn't think about it, kind of idea. You know what I mean? Because I like to think I come up with like some like pretty good combos, you know, that people kind of sleep on. But at the same time, other people have really good ideas too, and then I'm like, I wish I would have thought of that. Because it's really cool. Really freaking cool. Now, I think I already had, like, kind of come up with the idea of, you know, toxicity with the instruct, you know. So, like, I have that going for me. And I think that's a good combo. Because I can run the Trick Room variant, and then I also have it with the Talonflame that can essentially outspeed Murkrow's Tailwind. Right? But the thing is, if I wanted to go that route, then the main issue with that is I want to make sure that I can outspeed their partner Pokemon with my partner Pokemon to Talonflame. And Toxicity is a good option, but what if it's a Garchomp? Murkrow Garchomp, right? Very, very common. Common duo right now. And so if they go that, I sure as hell can't go Toxicity. I got nothing to deal with that. Right. No moves really affect that very well. And Garchomp will guarantee outspeed me, no matter what, with double Trick Room up. So, I mean, not double, double Tailwind up. So in that sense, rip. Not great. Not fun for me. So, that's why Dragapult, I think, is a pretty good option, choice band. But at the same time, if he commits to the Terra, right, that's pretty bad news as well. And I don't read that, you know what I mean? And I don't Terra my Dragapult, that's going to be rough. Because I can go for a Dragon Darts, but if he Terra Grounds, right, and Earthquakes, he'll survive the Dragon Darts and will likely one-shot the Dragapult, you know. He'll commit his Terra, but he'll get his KO, you know. And I'll get some damage on the board, but then one of my main offensive threats is dealt with. So, that's a rough one for sure. So, I'd have to commit to a certain Terra. Maybe if I want to go like... Maybe I don't want to go Terra Dragon. Maybe I want to go for a defensive Terra. That's a thought. There's a few combos I have to like worry about with that, right? I have to worry about Dondozo, because the team that I have currently, especially, just gets ripped by Dondozo. Ripped. Done. Killed. Deaded. 15 minutes left. Come on, guys. I know we got the early one, but come on. Work with me here. So we have to figure out a way to deal with that. I might put Amoonguss on the team. Is definitely an option. I think it's a pretty good option for the team as well. I've also thought about putting Meowscarada on the team as well. But then Dondozo also has the option to, well, Terra. So we could also just Grass Terra in my face in front of Meowscarada and say, nope, you're not KOing me, sir. So, yeah. That can be a bit harsh. But grass has a lot of weaknesses, so I don't know. I think it's a good idea. I think Meowscarada might be a good option for the team for that guaranteed critical hit. Critical hit. But, I mean, Amoonguss might be a better option for the clear smog, you know? That way, if it does Terra, it doesn't matter, right? Because, I mean, it's crazy how strong that Dondozo can be. It's crazy. And the fact that it has Unaware as well. You can't even boost up and hit it super hard. It literally does not care. It's crazy. Gets a double boost on every stat and ignores your stat changes. So you like can't even mirror herb it, bro. Like you can't even punish this Pokemon with mirror herb, which would probably be one of its like signature counters. But it has Unaware, so doesn't work. Can't do that. It ignores your offensive boost and defensive boost. So you're still taking normal damage and you're still dealing normal damage. So no point in doing that, right? So yeah. The option with that is to critical hit it or remove its stat stages, which could be used with Murkrow. So I mean, I could change Talonflame for Murkrow, right? It's an option. Which is a shame because I used to love using Murkrow because not a lot of people used it and I thought it was underrated and a really fun Pokemon. But now it's meta, people. And everyone's running it. And people are running things to try and counter it. That's the thing. So it's rough. I did see one team where it's centered around Dondozo, right? But then the rest of the team is centered around countering the Murkrow counter to Dondozo, which I think is really smart. And so that's a reason why to not run Murkrow on the team, right? Because that team is not based around countering Amoonguss, so I don't think there'll be a real point to that. Kind of a waste to do that, in my opinion. Except for Armarouge. Armarouge, I think, is part of that team, right? But anyway, yeah, I think adjusting that team, giving it a Dragapult, and changing, I think, because we have a Gyarados on the team as well, but it doesn't really do too much. So I kind of want to change that as well, since we're using Dragapult as well, right? So I think we'll change out the Gyarados for something else. Probably for the Amoonguss. But yeah. We also have Tinkaton on the team, but I think I might take Tinkaton out as well. Because Tinkaton is kind of there to counter a Pokemon like Garchomp. Well, soft counter Pokemon like more so Dragon types in general. And to not get touched by Order Up. I actually did beat Dondozo with my Baxcalibur team because I actually did bring Tinkaton and Grimmsnarl, so they couldn't Order Up. And between Intimidate from Tauros and Parting Shot from Grimmsnarl, I brought its attack stat down constantly, and so it spent like most of the game just at half attack stat. All right, 10 minutes left, and then you just had to forfeit because he had Substitute, which was a major pain. So I mean, good on him for running that set because that was big. That was very, very hard to deal with, but we dealt with it. Parting shot does in fact go through substitute. Thank goodness. If not, it would have been a little bit harder. But we did some like nasty switches, switching up in the order up, and then switching into wave crash, and then back into order up, right? And then meanwhile using ticket ton to just like either fake it out or just deal more damage to it, right? So kind of worked out. Hey man, how's it going? How are finals? That's my question for you. And I guess how's Asa faring with finals as well? Must be a tough week. If it's any consolation, I'm faring about as well if it was, you know, difficult, but first final, third final went well. What was wrong with the second one? Waiting on the fourth, which I just assume is next week. Probably early next week, right? I can't imagine they'd push a final late into the week. So then, take it you're almost done then. You probably have one or two more left, right? But congrats. Finals week is always tough. Study, but rather minimally. So you already got the grades back. Wow. At least for the second one. Or at least, or maybe you think that you tanked the grade, or like, did you already get the grade back? Oh, yeah. So is it like a letter grade tank? Like a B to a C kind of thing? Okay, so the grade was curved. That's good. Okay, yeah, curved to a B. You're good, dude. Don't sweat that. Don't sweat it, bro. I guess like if you maintain it, I guess it would be frustrating if you're able to maintain an A plus throughout the whole semester, and then that happens. Yeah, I guess that can be frustrating, right? That's probably the worst part of it, huh? Well, hey, that's the point of being a student, though. I guess, right? Make mistakes. Isn't that's like kind of the point, isn't it? You know what I mean? Because it's like the whole point of like being a student is like I need to know more. So it's like I know it's like you're expected to know everything about the subject and the class, and it's a step by step process, and that's kind of the thing. But it's like at the same time, you know. So it's like you're chilling, bro. You're chilling. The only class you cared about, yeah, it was the math class. Yeah, yeah, I figured. Which and that was okay. That was your first. Okay, so you got that one then in the bag, which is good. Yeah, sometimes you just cram for a certain final, right? Like there's one that you're just like, man, this one's gonna be tough, and sometimes you can kind of lose the balance. I know I've done that plenty of times. Got a 56 on that final. Highest grade I got in any of my big exams for that class. Jeez, that's that's nuts. That is nuts. Ugh, I would lose my mind taking that class. Yeah. Nope, couldn't be me. Never. I wouldn't even attempt it. Not even gonna try. Absolutely not. Yeah. I mean, hey, if what was the? I guess I'll ask. Like, what was the class average then? Right. B because you did well in the final. Yeah. I mean, I would assume for a class like that the grading is different. I did have one class that was like that, where like the class grade I got was like a 55%, but they graded it specially because it was a more difficult class, and so then I got like a B minus or something. So yeah, I assume that. Yeah, it's graded differently, huh? But congrats, you got through that. Jeez. Do you know if anyone dropped the class? Oh, I bet the curve. I bet the curve. For the sanity of the professor, I'm sure the curve had to be uh, substantial, for sure. Yeah, I bet. All I can say is I don't envy you being in school. It's it's a time. Stress and anxiety and time and studying and worrying and being poor. Ugh. It's just not that the being poor really changes, but uh, but it's like, man, it's crazy. Taking an advanced math class, technically was a 68, so also a D. Right, but yeah, right. Hey, so technically I got an F in that class. That was graded like that. 42 is the benchmark. Hey, dang. Well, you really got past that benchmark then, and then some, right? So you were in the safe zone. Let's go, hot girls in the chat. Welcome back. I know you're here for Dunsparce. Glad you're here for that. So glad to see you in there. It's about time. It's about time you showed your head again. uh, finally. Finally. I thought there was something wrong with me. Like, man, where'd all the hot girls go? But you've returned. It's a happy day. Happy day. Just made my night. Thank you, xxx69.biz. Appreciate it. Tier 3 sub? Or not? Oh, man. Congrats, man. That's what you want to hear. And you're through it. You're through it. And you're done. You took the final, so you're done. That's it, right? You can now forget about it. It's in the past. That's the best thing about finals. Once you do it, and you get the grade back, out of sight, out of mind, never have to worry about that class again. So, probably the biggest achievement, I bet. It's that's no small thing. Just hearing, I don't even know like half the stuff that any of the stuff you did, but just hearing about it is like is just soul crushing. So And hey, if that class tripped up Asher, then, welp, yeah. Oh, I bet. Yeah, I bet you did. Especially like probably early on too, right? I'm sure early on you were like, maybe not. All right, here we go. Let's see if the hot girls gave us good luck here. I thought Asher told you about it, didn't he? I think you mentioned something like that early in the semester. That Asher told you like he at least like heard about it or like thought about taking it, but like didn't because he knew it would be ridiculous or something like that. I could have sworn it's something that you mentioned. Maybe not though. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Alright. Well, only one, which is not great. We're not getting a lot of catches. We got one last run and one this run, which is not good. Okay. Let's see if Hot Girls gave us the luck that we need. Nope. No, it did not. I think I mentioned Wallizer saying was difficult. Ah, okay. Mr. Wallizer said that. Okay. That makes sense. Speaking of, I actually saw him this week. It's kind of a... Thought I'd just mention it. He looks about the same, as I remember. Hasn't really aged too much. I think he's retiring next year. At 55. So... Congrats to him, I guess. Okay, well... That's a reset. Yeah, yesterday we had great luck. We did 3 half-hour sessions. We caught 4 shiny Dunsparces the first one and 3 the next 2. This time we've done 2 sessions and we caught 1 each, which is not great. Because we got 10 in 2 hours. This time we have 2 in 1, which is still not like terrible, but ugh. 10 and 2, man, that's beautiful. That's amazing. That statistically makes us 10% of the way there to get our shiny. Okay, so I took 2 math classes this semester, though. Wasn't the tough one, that was something that was stats-based, wasn't it? Something statistics? Or statistics something? Okay, picnic. Discrete. I don't know why it's discrete math sounds funny. It's like, it's math, but it's like small math. It's sneaky math. Discrete. So abstract. I'm guessing abstract math was the difficult one, right? It's like math class, but art class. Yeah, that's... like, man. Imaginary numbers was hard enough for me, so... Thinking about abstract math, I don't even want to, like, think about it. I'm good. I'd rather make this tomato sandwich. I'll keep things simple. We'll throw some tomato on some bread and we'll call it good. How about that? Let's not do. Yeah. Matrices class. I showed up to the first week of class, and didn't show up again except for the midterms and final. And then I assume you didn't really have to, right? Or maybe the class just like, did the professor just straight up tell you like, you don't really like need to be here, kind of deal. I think I had one class that was like that. No tofu. Where it was like, I mean, you can come to class, but you don't really like have to. I forgot what class that was, but Yeah. They just put detailed lecture notes online. Oh, okay. And I assume that like being in class wasn't part of the grade, because that's something I did at BYUI, which is super annoying. A lot of classes had grades based on attendance, so that was annoying. Spent the time doing work for the other class, but that class got an A plus. Dang. There you go. Well, hey, that's I think that's just good time management right there. You knew that that class wouldn't be a problem. You just spent enough time that you had to, right? Then just said, all right, gotta do something else. Gotta work on my other stuff. All right, did we get the stuff that we needed? Yeah. All right, we're good. So when I really try as a student, I get a B, but when I don't show up to the class, I get an A. That's funny. That's a funny way of like thinking about it, yeah. But it's all about the context, right? You know what I mean? I mean, I see like what you're trying to say, but yeah, no, you're right. It's funny thinking about it like that, huh? I have to. I don't think I showed you this, but I found this old like BS like little snippet that I did for like my science final at BYUI that I had to take, even though I did human genetics in Westminster. I had to take Intro to Science, and I was just so fed up the fact that I had to do that. And gosh, it was terrible. It was like ninth grade science, dude. It was awful. I hated that class so much. But it was just like, and then I got an A on it, and you should see it. I had the most sarcastic tone in text of, and just like, man, and I mentioned Star Wars: The Clone Wars and cited it as a source. Oh man, that was funny. Oh. And then I was writing it while like John and Jonah Van Dyke were there, and oh my gosh, that was so funny. And I found it, because I had taken a picture of it just to keep it. So it's yeah, yeah. It was so funny. It was so funny. Oh my gosh, it was such a goofy like. It was like a small snippet. It was just like a couple paragraphs, but it was such a stupid question. I forget exactly what the question was, but it was such a stupid question that it just like it irritated me so much that I was like, all right, I don't even care. Like, it was close to the end of the semester, and it was like a graded survey almost, but it was like 5% of our grade or something stupid, and I was like, you're kidding, like. Yeah, it was basically after the final or right before the final, something like that, and it was a survey essentially. But it was also like gauging a little bit of our understanding of like what we talked about in class. But it was so like stupid and trivial, it didn't even matter. Like, it was just the easiest stuff, and I was so fed up with just wasting my time in that class that I just like, all right, I don't care at this point. I'm just, yeah, no, I literally mention Attack on the Clones like by name in like the couple paragraphs, and like cited it as a source after. It was man, that's too funny. I didn't read the whole thing, but I found it. Good times. So yeah, that's how I am as a student. I get frustrated, and then I just harness my sarcasm. Misa Jar Jar Binks. If only. Maybe I should have thrown some Phantom Menace in there. Some Revenge of the Sith. Some Force Awakens. With every Force Awakens comes an opposite Force Awakens. Get it? There you go. I should have put that in there. Even though the class had nothing to do with physics, pretty much, but... I know it's with every action there's opposite reaction, but I had to work with it somehow. Well, how far are we into this one? Oh, only 5 minutes. Okay. I feel like we have been doing this for 10 minutes and still haven't found one. Our shiny luck today has been awful. Really bad. Ugh. The Orction L is the most important one, being the powerhouse of the cell are the midichlorians. Oh, man. Ugh. And by my count, my midichlorians are high. Imagine. The midichlorians are the powerhouse of the cell. Oh my gosh. What a stupid saying. Ugh. What a meme. Yeah, seriously, we've been I did Dondozo hunting for an hour this morning. Didn't find it. We found 2 shiny Dudunsparces in an hour. So today is just not a shiny day. It's not great. Not looking good. It's too bad. Yeah. Cause shiny Dondozo is like not bad, and it's super obvious. But the main problem was like I got so many frame drops because Switch and Pokemon Scarlet Violet. So because as soon as like Pokemon start spawning in the water, then it just get lots of frame rate drops. So trying to hunt around there makes it that much harder. But I still did it for an hour, so like I put some time into it, and so but didn't amount to anything. And then I had stuff to do, so I was like, all right, like I could commit to this, but I'd just be wasting more time at that point. I'm not dying for it, but I just wanted it, so just like, all right, well, too bad. But tomorrow's a rest day, like, in the most complete way. I won't have to work out. Don't really feel the need to work on the script because I did that this morning as well. And man, that next movie that I watched, I already talked about it earlier this stream, but jeez. Pokemon Unite could be such a great word, I mean, my Nintendo. Yeah, but that's the Pokemon IP, right? It's not like anyone else. Well, what was the company that actually did Unite? Because it's Nintendo, but there's like a company that does it. I forget what it's called. But yeah, no, Nintendo always has their hands in it, despite it being developed by another company. It's like Galaxy Heroes is developed by Capital Games, but EA has their grubby hands all over it, basically just messing everything up, So it's kind of the same thing, isn't it? But yeah, I agree. So it could be great. It could be. It could be. The concept is great, but yeah, I don't know. It's just still it's unpolished. They keep adding content, keep creating new bugs and nerfs and buffs that are either unwarranted or too crazy, and it's just like, I don't know. I feel like the game was like more balanced towards the like kind of the end of the beginning era of Unite, if that makes sense. where like it was already after like Cinderace and Greninja got a couple nerfs, you know. They weren't really adding too many new Pokemon in the game, and it was just kind of like at a decent spot. Then like when Sylveon came out, it was super broken, but they fixed it really quickly, and it was kind of back to normal, you know. But now it's just like I think it's kind of like the more Pokemon they add, then the more changes they make, the worse it gets in a way, right? Only people on the switching for mobile, yeah. Yeah, that's also a drawback, isn't it? Because it has to be an exclusive, right? That's the whole Nintendo shtick. It stays relevant thanks to its exclusives and IPs that are timeless, right? That's how it stays being a thing. Either fat fingers playing smoothly on the phone, which leads to yeah, exactly. Yeah, I played a little bit on the phone. It's not like terrible. I've definitely played worse games, but it's still like it just doesn't feel nice. It just doesn't. Got the AFPS on the Switch with the built-in lag. Yeah, the lag that's essentially programmed into the game. Oh gosh. I know it's so annoying too because it's like I know there are points in time where it's like I get like issues with lag. Not as much FPS typically beyond the 30 FPS that you do get. But like when I get lag, it's like it's always the Switch's slash Nintendo's fault because like I look at my internet connection, I'm able to go on my Xbox and do things and download speed just fine. You know, my connection's okay. I check the connection, it's fine on multiple devices, and I go back to Unite and it's just wigging out, and it's like, all right, well, thanks. I wanted to play the game, but now I can't. It's unplayable. Ugh. Like imagine having control over your movements and targeting. Imagine. Too much. You're asking too much. You're asking too much there. You're going you're so far ahead of your time the way you're thinking there. Psh, controlling movements and targeting. Psh, whatever. Man, maybe in like 30 years. Gosh. Way too advanced. Elon Musk would be proud of that idea. Yeah, man, rip our luck, dude. How much time? Rip our luck today. I mean, it's okay. Like, maybe if I had like a really bad day today, I would care more, but no, I had a pretty good day. And so I'm kind of like, it's just kind of like, that's rude. you know? Uh, it's like, it's not upsetting, it's just like rude. Fine. Ugh. The auto aim and the movement doesn't even work some of the time. Yeah. Aim downward instead of the enemy in the radius. I guess like it probably depends on what move you're using, right? I haven't played on mobile very much at all, honestly. I don't like it's almost not worth it, right? Um, so I'm definitely not the source for like mobile problems. I just know that it's annoying and it's not great, which is why I don't play on mobile. So, Scald. Oh, on the Switch. Aim, okay. It'll aim downward, so like instead of the enemy in the radius. Okay. On the Switch to get reliable inputs, which aren't reliable. Reliable inputs that aren't reliable. Yeah. I know certain moves have like specific problems too, so I mean I just don't play a lot of slow bro, so it's not anymore. I do get a lot of problems with snapback, where you aim one direction, and you release the move, and then it just like immediately goes the opposite, like literally the opposite direction of wherever you're facing, like the exact opposite direction. That's what snapback is, right? And I've had that problem before, and it's really annoying. That one's like, and the problem is like it's on the exact opposite direction, which means that it's the antithesis of the direction you wanted to do the move, which is like that's worst case scenario. So like snapback is like actually like why is that a problem? You know? And it's like it's not just like, oh, it's your controller is, it's like no, everyone has that problem. Like everyone is experiencing snapback. So it's like no, it's not my controller. Although if you're using a Joy-Con, then yeah, you also have that problem. Definitely a contender with Mammoth Swine as the best defender. Yeah, I mean, judging by how like people play Mamo and how I've seen, yeah, I mean Mamo is just extremely strong. I haven't played against Slowbro or haven't played Slowbro in a while. But I think Slowbro's underrated, if anything. Just from the time I spent with him. And okay, especially his Unite, dude. Slowbro's Unite, you think like, okay, it's kind of whatever, but Slowbro's Unite is like the ultimate like counter to like pretty much anything. Charizard unites, nope, stop, don't do that, you're done. Machamp unites, nope, stop. Like I mean that's gross, right? Like I mean, ugh, it's crazy. Super good, super underrated. It's a really strong one. Take a person out of the game, you disrupt their unite, you disrupt the really strong move that they're about to use. Ugh, it's gross. Super underrated unite move. I think people really, well, either like underrated because they don't use it correctly, they don't use it like at the right time. They just kind of like, oh, you're the first, oh, I see a Snorlax. First Pokemon I see. Let's just hold you in place for a few seconds and see if that works. But yeah, I think it's really, 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 really good. Potion, Focus Band, Amnesia literally allows him to 1v3 reliably. Yeah, I can see that. Like, imagine being on, like, secondary goal. Yeah, Amnesia Scald, I assume, right? Yeah, I'd be interested in playing more Slowbro. Oh, hi, I almost missed you. Cool. Maybe that's our problem. Maybe our luck is fine. Maybe we're just missing our shinies. That's honestly might be a thing. Just not paying attention. He is a tankiest defender by such a margin. That's thanks. I mean, I feel like isn't Greedent like pretty nuts in like health wise? Because he's a defender, right? But I mean, Slowbro might be more. I have no idea. But if I remember, like looking at the health ranges, I think Slowbro is like number like 3 or 4 in health, something like that. Like something crazy. So yeah, I mean, his longevity is not. I know that. I know that for sure. His longevity in a battle is crazy. Like, even if you try to burst him down for whatever reason, he just doesn't want to die. He can be so annoying, and such just like a presence on the field. You know, I think the only downside is like his mobility, but I think Scald has enough range, and he's a ranged defender. So like, even if you try to keep your distance, you're still going to be getting hit by it. So it's like, it's not like a, let me think of like Snorlax, where it like relies on heavy slam to kind of get in, you know, and deal melee damage. But it's like, okay, you don't want to go in on me, and you want to keep your distance. I can just attack you from afar. I can throw Scalds out, for free and get free damage and free burns, like, psh, fine. Your call. I can do that. And you also have the Surf option too if you don't want to run Scald. And I think Surf probably has its uses, but I mean, honestly, I would still assume that Amnesia Scald is just better overall. Even with, I think, Telekinesis and Surf buffs, I think they got, right? Probably a better word, yeah. Yeah, I think it's like, that's the thing, is the longevity. And I think that, isn't that what makes him so strong and, like, against multiple Pokemon, right? Because he can just outlast them, you know? Like, he doesn't put out, like, crazy damage, you know? But he can just stall for so long and stay alive that eventually you just KO them because it just took too long for them to KO you. Ugh. Isn't that kind of how it works with Slowbro? Pretty much never use telekinesis. I don't think it's that good. That's the thing. It's also not easy to hit, you know? Like, if it was easy to hit, if it was like a sure hit move, psh, I think it would be super good. But it's pretty easy to kite, I'll be honest, because it's very slow. When you use it, it's actually, like, remarkably slow when it, like, comes out. I didn't think it used to be that way. I thought it used to be pretty fast. But I think they might have changed it so that it's, like, a very slow, like, moving beam that lifts them up, you know. I do like having the option to, like, kind of hold them there in the air, or you can hold them and bring them to you, or you can bring them to you right away. You know, I kind of like those options. Those are kind of nice, but hitting it is kind of the problem, I think. Tell you when ASO play Decidueye. Ooh, hold them in place and get the snipe in. Whew. Or Razor Leaf, too. Either way. Yeah, seems pretty strong. Dang, now that we're mentioning Unite, I kind of miss playing. Sounds really fun. Maybe next week? Ugh, yeah, rip. 8 minutes left. Alright. That's okay. Maybe, like, just one more shiny. Give us the two. We had such good luck yesterday. Like, what happened? We got 4, 3, and 3. Like, and I thought, well, I guess, like, I predicted the average would be 2 shinies per sandwich. So I guess, like, technically I'm still on the ball about that, right? Because we got 4, 3, and 3, and then 1 and 1. So our average is just a little over 2. But I got... Okay, if you didn't put all right, you're going to clown me. I would have thought that you were joking when you said, but I kind of want to play Overwatch. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can back you up on that one there. That's a tough ask. That's a tough ask. But I'll still try. I'll try it again. Like, there's no reason not to. That's the thing. Like, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't like, oh, it was a bad experience. I'll never play the game. It was just like, okay, it's whatever, you know. So like, I'd play it. I'd try it out. I don't think it's gonna change, like, how I feel, how mediocre the game is, but I'll try it again. If it was like a bad game like Paladins, then of course, never again. But well, you know how Paladins is, yeah. Especially now. Ugh. I forget, didn't we have a conversation, like, Paladins isn't a dead game, is it? Doesn't it have, like, a decent player base still? Surprisingly, even though like, shouldn't it kind of be a dead game? Ugh, I've been playing Overwatch more, yeah. Sad. Rip Paladins. Oh, I thought of this joke like super randomly. Ready? Okay. What what is Grover's favorite quote from Star Wars? Okay. What is Grover's favorite quote from Star Wars? It's a super stupid. Like it's super dumb. It's not even clever. It's really dumb. You like don't think about it too hard because it's not. It's really stupid. I'll give you a second. I can repeat the question if you like. This consider this your fifth final, even though you haven't had your fourth yet. What? Okay. The question is, uh, what is Grover's? As in like, oh, as in Paladins. What is Grover's favorite quote from Star Wars? The answer is really dumb. It's with, uh, okay, I'll give you a minute. I'm like, no. What does that have to do with Grover? No. Um, no. It's more of a it's a pun. I mean, yeah. I mean, you might be right. Like, characteristically, yeah. I think Grover would probably not like good movies and enjoy bad movies, but it's more of a it's a pun than like an actual like analysis of his character. Would you like the answer? It's really dumb. No, not so much. Not hello there, no. I don't know why I'm smiling so much. It's not even funny. It's so stupid. Okay. Grover's favorite quote. It's so dumb. It's so I literally thought of this like maybe like 2 hours ago. It's so stupid. Grover's favorite quote from Star Wars is, "It's treason, then." Get it? It's treason, then. 'Tis the treason to be jolly. Get it? Cause, cause he's a tree. So yeah, that I told you it was dumb. Don't say I didn't warn you, cause it was yeah. It's up there. I told you it was dumb. You can't. Oh man. Ugh. Yeah, yeah. It's probably a deserved yikes. Don't worry, I'll have another one for you. Give me a couple weeks to come up with a masterpiece like that. It'll take time. Genius takes time, you know. I mean, I guess we should be happy we got the one, but like, dude, today's just not the day. This is our third, right? We still have one. Or am I just like blind and I'm missing him? Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just like missing him. But it's obvious enough. I almost missed the one, so. Is anyone put you up to this? Or no, no, no. It's me, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Wait. That's not shiny, is it? No, I don't think so. That's normal, right? Yeah, okay. I was like, no. It looked different though in the lighting. Oh, hi. Cool. Another great mechanic, just forced battles. Really good design. Good job. Well, that's the third reset with just one. So yeah, I mean, I guess I was right about the average of 2. So let's evolutionize him. Gotta teach a hyper drill first. Ugh. But anytime these streamers would play Overwatch, I found myself enjoying it more than the Paladins content for whatever reason. Oh, I mean, yeah, I mean I guess that's a good telltale that you're interested in actually playing the game. So I mean, no, I could see how it could be more interesting, to be honest. I can't really fault you for that. I could see that. I know there are things where it's like, I haven't really been enjoying watching people play Unite recently. I don't know. I just haven't enjoyed it. I used to really like it, now I just like, cause I really don't care. And it's not like I'm lost interest in Unite. It's like I still want to play Unite. I still want to get Master Rank this season, you know, like my normal stuff. So, but it's like, but watching it for whatever reason right now is like, I used to watch it all the time, you know. But now it's just like, so, no, I get you. Alright, we'll do one more reset. I guess I should probably quit while I'm behind, but we'll do one more. Never really like watching Unite content. Yeah, I get that. It's I don't know. Yeah, it can get old kind of quick, and I feel like Unite content creators have lost ideas for content a long time ago because they constantly recycle like the same stuff. And like, this thing is OP. Is this, you know, is the new bus, you know, now overpowered? How does this Pokemon fare in the new patch? What about this goofy emblem build? That is kind of obvious that he would use an emblem build like this. You know, kind of like starved for like actually interesting content. Which is why I've only done a handful of Unite videos and streams. Because if there's nothing I want to play or showcase, then I won't do it. But if you're trying to upload Unite every day, then yeesh. You're going to be kind of starved there. Good luck. And honestly, it's a game that could die out of nowhere, honestly. I think that's kind of the reality of it. Like, Unite could die like that. They could, like, stop at any moment and, like, shut it down. You know what I mean? It could be a game with lots of longevity, but it could equally just be something that's just dropped like crypto coin every day, like a new crypto coin. So that's why I try to do Pokemon content. Because if I just did Pokemon Unite, then, well, which I guess that's a good reason I quit Battlefront content because, dang, talk about dead game. I mean, it has a dedicated like player base, but no new content, no new patches. Only so much you could do, right? So in a way, I'm glad I just didn't do it. In a way, in a way, I think I should have kept up to content creation when I started back in 2016, but is what it is. Enjoy campaign from Battlefront 2, I guess. I assume. Because I don't think Battlefront 1 had a multiplayer, did it? Yeah. I liked the campaign, but I wish you would have stayed as like Empire longer. You know what I mean? Because you kind of like switch sides like kind of soon. Which I was like, I mean, it's like, I was like, I guess it's fine, but it's like, I would have liked to have been Empire a little bit more, you know? So, if. Yeah, I definitely, I would say like I 100% enjoyed like the Empire stuff. Like when you were Empire and like that whole story and you were like, uh, man, you, like the character of Aiden was just really didn't like the rebels. Like you could tell like in her character, she just like, the Emperor was killed and the Death Star was destroyed and she wanted revenge, And so like I kind of liked that. And I kind of felt that in like what you were doing and like the kind of crazy missions you were doing and whatnot. So like that was like really cool and I really enjoyed that. But I felt like when you switched sides, it kind of got a little stale after that. It almost kind of felt like the emotion, a lot of the emotion was gone. And then, but the Luke mission was really cool. Not for the gameplay. The gameplay was awful for like trying to kill all those bugs. Oh, it was, man, I don't know why they did that. Ugh. It was okay when you're fighting stormtroopers and whatnot, but it was yeah, I never did finish. Yeah, exactly, right. It just, I don't know, it didn't really capture me. But the Luke mission was good until you had to fight all those bugs, and it was like, really? Like, and it was so long. You had to fight the bugs for so long for no reason. But besides that, the mission was good. And then, like, Luke working with a special ops stormtrooper was so cool. Like, that's just such a cool concept. And they actually executed that story-wise really, really well. You know? So I really enjoyed that. That was really well done. Except the bugs. Hated the bugs. Super annoying. And they did like the first DLC came out, um, unpaid DLC. First DLC came out with like an addition to the story, and it just kind of was equally bland in my opinion. Not really that interesting. So, yeah. The bugs are like the one thing I remember exactly, right? Because you do it for so long, and it's just annoying. Like, you almost forget that you fight the stormtroopers at the beginning because you're like, oh, this is actually fun. But then it kind of gets overshadowed by the fact you have to fight bugs for half an hour. You know? And the stormtrooper section is just so short. But, like, I get why they did that story-wise because, like, if you're killing a bunch of stormtroopers as Luke Skywalker while you're with the special ops stormtrooper, that wouldn't really make sense, right? Narrative wise, that doesn't make sense. So, I understand why they did it like that, but they could have put some more effort into how that battle went, while working with him. I think could have been a lot better. It literally could have been like zombified stormtroopers. Like, just do that. You know what I mean? You can keep your stormtrooper model, just change it, and just have them be like zombie-like, and that would be super cool. And also a reference to one of the old expanded universe Star Wars novels, where literally stormtroopers were zombies. So there's also a callback to that. Yeah, I think they should have just done that and left it at that. I think it would have been so much better. But nope, they had to do stink bugs. The thing is about the multiplayer. Yo, let's go! Yes! Girls, let's go! Now it's x-girls.xyz. Thanks for the boost in luck. You yourself are a sandwich, giving me extra shiny odds. I appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the stream. Tier 3 sub, if you're epic. So I noticed that, like, the stream I did yesterday, like, it's been, over 24 hours, and it's like, people don't really seem too interested in that, and, like, also in this stream, like, I don't know, people just don't seem interested in, like, 3-segment the Dudunsparce hunt, so, like, I might not stream this again, to be honest. Just because it seems like it's not that interesting, which, like, I get, so, like, I might not. Might just do it on my own, and then just clip it if I get it, kind of thing. What do you think? I don't know if shiny hunting is a thing anymore. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you there. I think because shinies are, like, not even that rare anymore, which is why I'm doing a hunt like this, because it's like a shiny 3-segment Dudunsparce. That's rare. That is rare, so, like, shiny hunting in general, not so much. And so I thought maybe, like, okay, maybe if I put, like, a twist to it, that, I'm hunting something, like, actually rare. But I don't know. I guess it still just doesn't do it. Yeah. For this break, I wanted to play Mystery Dungeon. Never really played any, but they seemed fun. You've never played Mystery Dungeon? Really? I thought you did. That's surprising. Oh, emulated content? Yeah, it's possible. But the only problem is, like, the screen recording stuff, because I kind of talked about it a little bit earlier in the stream, but, like, OBS, it just, like, doesn't work. That's why the quality on, like, the Palmet video was terrible, was like an OBS into Mac kind of thing, because you can change the format of the recording to, like, AVI or MOV, but whatever formatting settings I tried, it just, like, it records on OBS through screen capture in the camera, and then you have to put it in Final Cut, and then then you have to export it into something, and then you have to upload it on YouTube, and by then, for some reason, the quality is just terrible. And so then for the King Gambit video, what I did for the screen capture was just both screen recording on my laptop, just from QuickTime Player, which is already built in, and then built-in video recording, and that video came out way better, way better quality-wise. So yeah, I would have to do QuickTime Player screen recording, but I don't know how to stream that is the problem. is I can try it with OBS for sure. I can try that. I can try streaming it with OBS because that's how I did the Pokemon Showdown stream. So I can certainly try it, but I'm worried about the quality. Not that it's really actually that big of a deal, but it's a big deal to me. I would say it's a big deal to me. Not that it's realistically a big deal, but I just don't like it when it's just terrible quality. I just don't. But yeah, I could certainly try it. But I guess that was more like for like recording a video. You know, that QuickTime Player worked a lot better. Because like the Showdown stream was kind of fine as is. So like it'd probably be okay. It's probably not a problem. I think I'm making it a bigger deal than it actually is. Yeah, no, I could try that. Shut up. I'm trying. Alright, how much time do we... Okay. I keep thinking we're blowing through time, but 10 minutes is not too bad. But yeah, keeping with the theme, just not great shiny luck today. That's alright. I was hoping that I was just building up to the reveal that we get the 3-segment, the Dudunsparce this stream, but still possible. Play Pokemon Sage. Oh, and DQMJ2. Oh, Dragon Quest, Michael Jackson 2. Oh, yeah. Of course. Dungeon Quest, or sorry, Dragon Quest Michael Jackson. That's a great game. Of course. Of course I can play that. Full of hee-hees and moonwalks. It's a great one. That I'll be most interested in. Yeah, I could play, I could do, like, knockoff games, yeah. That'd be fun. Yeah, there's no reason I can't do that, so yeah. I like to try it. Sage is the one where you really... Actually, weirdly enough, this doesn't matter because it's a 2-segment, so we literally don't care about that. Now, if that was a 3-segment that just spawned in, that was a shiny, that would be nuts. You should have been 3-segment. You should have been 3-segment. No, because I'm resetting. See, the way I'm doing this hunt is if I literally caught last stream 10 2-segment shiny Dudunsparces, right? We're not going for small fish. I literally reset the game. I literally took 10 shinies and threw them in the trash because I'm fully committed. We're not going for small fish today. Like, when we're doing this hunt, we're going all in. Because we're going to end up using way too many Herba Mysticas. And that's no small fish. I know it might be a little sacrilegious and kind of a shame to just throw all the shinies in the trash like that, but I mean, like you said, and well, like you, I guess, implied, and like I said, like shinies just aren't rare anymore. You know what I mean? So yeah. So no, I'm not. Yeah, that's why I'm not catching it. Isn't that funny? Like, in what instance do you like see a shiny and you're like, oh, all right, well, see ya. That's funny. Yeah. No, I'll play Dungeon Quest. Why do I keep saying Dungeon Quest? Dragon Quest. Michael Jackson, absolutely. Yeah, I'll do that. Is it a Game Boy or DS? Dragon Quest 9. Yeah, I've never played Dragon Quest at all, so it'd be a new experience for me. Isn't normal Dragon Quest an RPG? I'm pretty sure, right? I mean, with a character named like Hero, like that sounds like an RPG to me. Probably turn-based if I had to guess. Kind of like Fire Emblem. Yeah. Yeah, it just makes sense. Bro, why did the shiny have to be a 2 segment freaking the Duns? Man, imagine that was imagine that shiny spawn was a 1 in 100 3 segment spawn. Oof. Man, would have been beautiful. We haven't even seen a 3 segment Dudunsparce spawn at all. So, there's that. Every Dudunsparce we've seen so far has been 2 segment. I've been checking. I've been doing a pretty good job at checking. Haven't even seen one in the wild yet. Yeah, turn-based but fun. Yeah, no, I'm not saying, like, turn-based is bad. No, not at all. Because, like, I really enjoy Fire Emblem Three Houses, and that's turn-based. I really like Pokemon, and that's turn-based. So, like, yeah. The music slaps. Ooh. And the monsters slap. So is the difficulty, like, pretty decent? I'd be down for some, like, higher difficulty stuff. Because Three Houses is like that. Like, the higher difficulties are actually pretty tough. And you actually, like, when you lose, like, party members, like, they die, like, for real, and you can't use them again. So you get to a point in the game where, like, if you lose too many people, like, you're kind of screwed. And, like, you might end up having to make a choice where, like, you sacrifice one of your characters permanently so that you can get through a certain situation. So, like, I don't know, I really like that idea. That's just a really cool, like, concept. Might be easy, depends on how fast you take it. Okay. Yeah, no, I'd be interested in trying it. No, getting emulated stuff is super easy. I have emulated stuff in my laptop already, which is how I did, like, the Emerald Nuzlocke video and everything, right? So yeah, it should be easy to get that stuff, right? Now, Mystery Dungeon. Oof. I have not played, which I think is supposed to be the best one, but I don't think it's that different from the one that I played, but Explorers of Sky on the DS. I had Explorers of Darkness, which is like the Ruby Sapphire, and then Explorers of Sky is like the Emerald version. Like, it's the third version of the game that adds like a few things. But man, Mystery Dungeon was the ish. That era, man, so good. So good. The story, the gameplay, like, it was difficult, it was intense, it was punishing if you lost, it was punishing when you lost. Like, you could lose 50 floors of progress if you died in a dungeon too late and you weren't prepared. There's a lot of planning that goes into it. There's RNG, so there's, like, so many scenarios where you can get put in that you just won't see coming. Man, ugh. I miss that. I really miss that. And then I was super excited on the 3DS when Super Mystery Dungeon came out. I was so excited. And I started playing it. Didn't have it. It just didn't. Didn't have the storytelling, didn't have the magic. The gameplay was not fun. It looked kind of gross. It wasn't crisp like the other ones were. And then I played a little bit of the demo for the Pokemon Rescue Dungeon DX, and I still might get that game. But I didn't really like the art style that much. At least in the dungeons. I like the art style outside of the dungeons, but in the dungeons, didn't care for the art style. So, like, it was just, yeah, that was the one that was on the Switch that came out a couple of years ago. I think when the pandemic hit, like, just before the pandemic hit in February. Yeah, it was, just kind of like, okay, whatever. But, dude, man, Explorers of Darkness, Explorers of Time, Explorers of Sky era, it just made Mystery Dungeon, which was already strong, just so much better. It already had strong storytelling, already had a strong like premise, already strong gameplay, and they just expanded on it. It was basically like the Empire Strikes Back of Pokemon. It was like it took a concept and it built upon it and made it so much better. Like it was already strong and they just made it like basically perfect. Basically like perfect. Ugh. It was so good. Yeah. It was peak for sure. Peak when it was pixel. I agree. I agree. I wish they would do something with the pixel art because that's one of the reasons I didn't like the other mystery dungeons because the pixel art mystery dungeon was just so crisp and like I don't know what it was, but it was just satisfying. It was exact. It was very clear like where you were and where other Pokemon were, and like everything just looked really nice. And then like moving to the 3D model stuff, it just didn't look as good. And it wasn't like clear where the spaces were. It kind of messes with your like perception of like where things are. You know what I mean? And so it kind of makes like your planning process of like the moves you want to make like unnecessarily more difficult because it just looks weird. And so it also like in a way affects your gameplay, not just like aesthetics. So in that sense, it's like even then it's like. But then they like with the art that they did for DX, like outside, it looks pretty cool. It's like stencil art, and still has like some kind of it like is similar as well to like kind of like pixely in a way. Not like pixely isn't like bad graphics, which is a Switch problem, but it's like it felt more true to the pixel art nature of Pokemon. And so when they did that, I was like, okay, that looks pretty cool. But then you get into the dungeon and it kind of drops that, and it's like, oh, well, what was the point then? So, yeah, disappointing. They had the pixel art, yeah. Kirby was peak when it was pixel art. Nintendo, yeah. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's. I mean, I think like for normal Pokemon, like the move to 3D just makes sense. But they just don't really execute it very well. That's for sure. As far as like environment, I still think they nail competitive. They nail competitive, I think. I think the power creep is a bit much this generation, honestly. It really is. People thought last gen was bad. I thought last gen was just fine. I thought it was just fine. But this generation, it's blaringly obvious the power creep. It's crazy. Not a fan of it. But besides that, they nail competitive really well. Terrestrializing is super unique. I've come to really like terrestrializing, and also I've come to hate it because going up against people with like really creative terrestrializing ideas like really messes me up and like messes up my ideas of like how I want to counterplay and what moves I want to make, and I'm like, well, didn't see that coming. I did not expect that to terrestrialize, but it makes perfect sense why you would do that and pick that type. And so there's a lot of getting used to that you have to do as well. But yeah, it's Pokemon that is, I think, makes sense to go into the 3D era. Not Mystery Dungeon. Not Mystery Dungeon. I think Mystery Dungeon should have stayed 2D. I think that should like keep true to the two-dimensional roots, to be honest. But I think for Pokemon, I think it makes more sense in 3D like this. I think this just makes more sense for Pokemon in general, concept-wise, than 2D. But there was something magical about it back then, wasn't it? But it's because we were kids. You know? Because we were kids. Things were just different back then. We perceived things differently back then. We have the nostalgia goggles on. Not that it was like, oh, we only think it's good quality because we were kids. It's like, not exactly. Like, it was still high quality. And they're still good games, you know? Like Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5. But it's like, at the same time, it's like, We saw things differently back then. Please do emulated stream tomorrow. I have no problem with that, honestly. I have no schedule to keep up with in streaming. I have no plans of what I was going to stream tomorrow. I was just going to come up with it. So, yeah. I'll do an emulated stream tomorrow. That is not an issue. Freaking shiny Dunsparce today is just not working out. Might as well put effort into their, Okay, but if Pokemon was going to switch to 3D, they might as well put effort into their 3D models the first time if they were just planning on reusing their models. Yeah. I think that just makes sense. You would think, right? You would think that they would do that. I don't know what it... Like, maybe there's something, like, with the coding or, like, the differences in art style between certain games, you know, that, like, maybe there's some sort of drawback, but it's like... But you could have just, like... Or maybe they're already preparing for, like, a new generation of consoles. You know what I mean? Because the Switch's life cycle is up. So maybe they're not putting the effort into it because they're waiting to put the effort into it for the new generation. But it's like... But then why release these games now if you're just going to have a new generation of consoles soon? So it's like, why release Scarlet and Violet now then? Why not wait? Clearly they didn't wait. And Scarlet and Violet just came out, so there's no way there's going to be a new generation of consoles in, like the next, 2 years, probably. By releasing Scarlet and Violet on the Switch, they've essentially confirmed that they're not, going to have a new console for, 2 years, maybe 3. Probably 3. So, I don't know. And because they have, Pokemon Home for the Switch, and, that's kind of, now, the new all-time, Pokemon hub, you know, for all the games that came out on Switch. But then again, they had Pokemon Bank, which was the all-time hub at the time. So, you know, maybe they'll switch from Home to something else, but I doubt that. I think, weirdly enough, they're sticking to the Switch. Weirdly enough. I think they're gonna put out new models, you know? Maybe a better model in the next year, next 2 years, I think. They'll probably put out something else besides the OLED model. And I might buy the better Switch, to be honest. My Switch has kind of run its course, in my opinion. And when a new version comes out, it's not the OLED model, then I'll wait for reviews and then decide if I want to get that. See how much they improve it. And if they do an actual home console version of the Switch, I'll get that. I don't need to have a handheld, you know. But I have the handheld if I want it, which is just the Switch, right? Normal Switch. Sent you Discord link to the Pokemon Sage. Information on downloading it, but you'll need to install software to run. Okay. Buy a PC before. No, that's probably gonna happen. Yeah. It's not a priority. A new Switch is not a priority at all. Even if a new one came out, it would still be a while before I actually get it. Unless it's, crazy, which it's not going to be, let's be honest. You know what I mean? So if it was, a crazy new console, then, yeah, I'll get it soon. But it's not going to be that, so. Yeah. That would be so much to play every game that I enjoy with you. Yeah, it would be fun. I know. But the thing is, also the reason I was thinking about this earlier is, yeah, why don't I buy a PC? But it's I don't even have a desk to, put anything on it, you know what I mean? So it's that's kind of also why I, prioritize the TV and the desk, because I actually need stuff to, put stuff on, because I put my laptop on a chair when I was streaming down in the living room. I put my laptop on a chair, and the TV that was propped up on a couple of speakers, and that's how I was playing in the basement. So it's I need a freaking desk. I need a desk. Can we make this work, please? I need something here. So that's why I prioritized that first. And I was hoping to spend less than, my budget was like 1,200, and I was hoping to spend less than 800 or around 800, and I ended up spending 740 for a really nice desk and a really nice TV, 50-inch 4K. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Yeah, so I was kind of sick of playing ghetto. As far as my setup goes. But yeah, no. Next on the list will be PC, but might be a little while. So you're saying you want to say Sage next, Pokemon Saga. Kind of annoying that I have to do the EXE thing though. I know there's like certain like paid EXE like file opening things, but I'm not doing that. I mean, if it's like something that like can work on like an emulator, then. But I guess if it's just a game, you know, that has its own like source code and whatnot or whatever, then yeah, then of course I can't do that. How much time do I have left here? 13 seconds. Wow. So the one shiny we found. I mean, I probably missed it. I haven't really been paying attention, to be honest. I've been just lightly checking the obvious Dunsparces that I've seen. No! Not a single one. Very sad. Very sad. People behind it are dedicated but also have jobs. Dang. Jeez. Only 3 gyms long at the moment. I feel like hasn't Sage been out for like a while? But I guess yeah, if they're they're not making money off of it, are they, right? So I believe it might be the best Pokemon game. Yeah. Could definitely be. Honestly, I've noticed there's just a lot of like fan-made things and like just made by normal people that like aren't in Hollywood or aren't in like the industry that are just like better than like big industry stuff, which is so weird. It's so weird that it's like that. It's crazy. I don't get it. I don't get it. Shouldn't be like that, but it is. Well, not that it shouldn't be, but it's like it just doesn't make sense why it's like that. That like companies with massive resources just like have their heads in their asses. Just like it's crazy. All right, well, there's the reset. And yeah, well, rip. Only wow, 2 hours and 20 minutes for 2 shiny Dunsparces. That's pretty bad. To the 10 that we had yesterday in 2 hours is crazy. Just like the first 15 seconds might be some of the greatest composed themes, yeah. Yeah, I'm interested in seeing that. Honestly, yeah, I'm definitely down to do emulated games. If the Sage thing is gonna take a little long for like the EXE files or whatever, then I might put that off. But yeah, Dungeon Quest. I keep saying Dungeon Quest. Dragon Quest, Michael Jackson. Not Mystery Dungeon. Have you lost interest in that, or is it just like not a priority for you? Because I would definitely be interested in playing that one, for sure. Explores the Sky, even though it's not that different from the other ones. Rather see Dungeon Quest. Why do I keep saying Dungeon Quest? Is Dungeon Quest the thing? Hold on. I keep saying that. Okay, Dungeon Quest is the thing, but it's. What is this? Oh, it's some. I've never seen this before. So why do I keep saying Dungeon Quest? It's just some like. It looks not great. It's literally a mobile game. I keep saying it though. Title tomorrow's stream. I will literally title it that. I will literally do that. Dungeon Quest Michael Jackson version or something like that. Yeah. No, I'm down. I'll do that. I already have an emulator installed. I don't know if it can currently run DS games, but let me check. Because it runs old stuff, but I don't know if DS is part. Oh yeah, DS is there. Okay. Yep, that works. Oh, it even has like GameCube and 64. Okay, it runs a lot actually. Yeah, I usually just have Game Boy Advance games on here because that's usually I played so many like Game Boy Advance games that I just love, and so I just have a bunch of those on here. I still want to replay some stuff. Early morning stream, possibly. I'm not sure though. I'm not 100% sure. Like if it weren't 8:43, I would want you to play it now. I don't know about early morning, but it's possible. It's a possibility. I'm not sure yet though. I'll try to start it earlier rather than later because tomorrow I don't really have much going on tomorrow, so I can kind of do it definitely after like I would say around like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, probably. We'll end up at the well, I wouldn't say at the latest, but yeah, no, I'm definitely willing to do it tomorrow. I don't know about early morning though, but it's possible. But yeah, no, I can do that. It should be pretty easy to find the emulator file for it and then just put it in. It'll be pretty simple, right? And I can just stream using OBS. And then I still kind of maybe want to do a second stream of Showdown, but probably not. I can just do it on my own time. It was more of just doing that because I wasn't sure what to stream. You know. But yeah. Dungeon Quest, Michael Jackson. Sounds great. Also, I just called it Dungeon Quest again, unironically. That was not a joke. I literally just called it Dungeon Quest again. Literally, why do I keep... I don't know why I keep saying that. I've never played Dungeon Quest. I don't think I've ever seen that game before. Why do I keep saying that? There must be like a different game that's like close to that. Because I know it's called Dragon Quest, but I just keep saying, like, my mind keeps going to Dungeon Quest. It's so weird. I don't know why my brain keeps doing that. Anyway. Alright, yeah. Alright, so this time, ironically, Dungeon Quest, Michael Jackson, tomorrow sounds just fine. But I'm not sure when it's going to be, but it'll be earlier, for sure. Didn't play 1 as much, but I do have fond memories. Okay, so you played mostly 2. So you think I should play both, or like could I just like skip the 2? Or is it like a continued story, and I'd probably have to play 1? I think it's funny that you're calling it Michael Jackson 2. Yes, both. Alright. Alright, well, Dragon Quest Michael Jackson 1. There you go, I'll call it. At least a little bit by its correct name. Not a continued story? That's alright. Not too big of a deal. Alright, Dragon Quest tomorrow. That sounds good. Alright. Just wanted to see as much of a Dragon Quest as possible. Yeah, I know, I guess, yeah, you guys are big fans, huh? Childhood games, right? Yep, Dragon Quest sounds good to me. Alright, well, guess that's it then. So, get ready for that one tomorrow. Sounds good. Alright, well, thank you for hanging around the stream. Much appreciated. And, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.